right, guys, I'm gonna read you some texts and I want you to tell me down below how you feel about them. This first one reads, if those guys die before me, I will go to their funerals to piss on their graves. Send them out awash in something. Now, somebody responds to this individual and says, you are talking about hoping Jennifer Gilbert's children would die. To which the responder says, yes, I've told you this before. Only when people feel pain personally do they move on policy. Now, if you think those texts are absolutely disgusting, you'd be correct. But some Democrats are supporting the person who wrote these texts. Why? Because he's running for Attorney General of Virginia. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.
Guys, before we get into today's video, please like and subscribe. Today we're going to be talking about none other than Jay Jones, who is a Democrat running for Attorney General in Virginia. Now, this has come to a head because Jay Jones has had some texts released. These are texts that he sent in 2022, I believe, August 2022, where he's speaking to a Republican colleague about how he feels about, let's say, his political opposition. Now, we're going to get straight into the story here so that you guys know what's going on. This is from the New York Post. It says the text, first reported by the National Review on Friday, were sent by Jones at around 8 a.m. on August 8th, 2022, to Republican House Delegate Kerry Coyner, who was clearly troubled by the messages. Now, I'm going to read you these texts. Now, apparently he accidentally started this text exchange by saying, if those guys die before me, I will go to their funerals to piss on their graves, send them out awash in something. Now, she responds, Jay Jones? He says, 3 people, 2 bullets. Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot. Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head. Spoiler, put Gilbert in the crew with the 2 worst people you know, and he receives both bullets every time. The Republican colleague responds, Jay, please stop. He says, LOL, okay. She says, it really bothers me when you talk about hurting people or wishing death on them, which means she's been bothered by this before, which seems like he's done this before. She goes on to say, you weren't simply asking questions and you know it. He says, I genuinely was. I wasn't attacking you. I was trying to understand your logic. She goes on to say, you weren't trying to understand. You were talking about hoping Jennifer Gilbert's children would die. He says, yes, I've told you this before. Only when people feel pain personally do they move on policy. Oh, so you've spoken about her children dying before. That's endearing. She says, there isn't. I point blank asked you more than 3 times, and you dug in that you meant it. I honestly am questioning a lot today. He responds, I mean, do I think Todd and Jennifer are evil and that they're breeding little fascists? Yes. Now, just to clear up a little bit of this conversation, for those of you who are looking for context, it seems that Jay Jones is talking about Todd Gilbert, who was the Virginia House Speaker at the time, in referencing wanting him dead, wanting to have his children die as well. Now, according to the New York Post, during this text exchange, there was a phone call between Jay Jones and Coyner, the Republican colleague who he's speaking to, where Jones reportedly doubled down, suggested that he wished Gilbert's wife could watch their children die to perhaps change the former House Speaker's political views, according to the National Review. And that's the source that they've cited there. Can you believe this, guys? And he's currently running for Attorney General of Virginia. Somebody who has said this publicly is currently running for that position. And now many Democrats are actually doubling down in support of him. He has not lost a single endorsement as of the time of this recording. So we're going to wait and see if he pulls through on this, because this is absolutely unacceptable. Now I'm going to show you a clip of some of his rhetoric recently, and then we'll compare that to his former rhetoric, the rhetoric of 2020. Let's hear it.
People always told me that your priorities come into focus when you become a parent. And my highest priority will always be the safety of our families.
You said, according to the article, I'm quoting, Gilbert's wife could watch her own child die in her arms so that Gilbert might reconsider his political views. I can think of nothing more horrific than a mother having to hold her dying child. How can Virginians trust a man who said something so horrific so callously?
Well, again, I am so deeply, deeply sorry for what I said, and I wish that it hadn't happened, and I would take it back if I could.
I do truly hope that this individual has grown as a person, and maybe they no longer wish death upon their political opposition's children and families and the political opposition themselves. But am I going to go out on a limb and support this person thinking that they've changed an egregious opinion like that from 2022? Probably not, okay? I don't think he's really shifted all that much in his view of Republicans or people who oppose him. And in this this time where we're talking about leftist violence, where we're experiencing leftist violence, and it seems to be happening at a very high rate recently, I don't think somebody like this should be a candidate for attorney general. And I'm not alone in thinking that. Donald Trump has actually spoken out and also stated that this guy should step down. He says on Truth Social, it has just come out that the radical left lunatic Jay Jones, who is running against Jason Miyares, the great attorney general in Virginia, made sick and demented jokes, if they were jokes at all, which were not funny, and that he wrote down and sent around to people concerning the murdering of a Republican legislator, his wife, and their children. Abigail Spanberger, who is running for governor, is weak and ineffective and refuses to acknowledge what this lunatic has done. Even Democrats are saying it is resignation from campaign territory. Democrat Jay Jones should drop out of the race immediately, and the people of Virginia must continue to have a great attorney general in Jason Miyares, who, by the way, has my complete and total endorsement. Jason will never let you down. So he decided to also add his little endorsement there at the end. And while we have that statement coming from Donald Trump and even the likes of MSNBC, who said this.
But it's unclear whether this attorney general candidate will stay in the race. I think there's a growing sense that he probably should not. We heard President Trump last night, but even some Democratic leaders, John Hyman, have started to say, like, look, this is inappropriate. You can't, and especially at a time right now with such concern about violent rhetoric and political violence.
Who says that?
Yeah, that this is just way beyond the line.
I would say, not to be too much on the high horse. It's wildly inappropriate under any circumstances. Yes. Today, tomorrow, 10 years ago, 6 months ago. I think the pressure is going to be on Spanberger and for the party to ask this candidate to just quit the race, because just both, it's the right thing, and also the political splashback. You don't want to mess with this right now.
Who says that?
I think the right thing to do is basically this guy should do everyone a favor and step out of the race.
Yeah.
We have other Democrats who are coming out and doubling down in their support of Jay Jones. Okay, we have Mellie Cartwright, who says, I stand with Jay Jones, period, end of statement. Now, she's a candidate of Virginia House of Delegates there. So you have that Democrat who's decided to come out in full force support of him. You also have the Virginia Beach Democrats who have come forward and said that their committee reaffirms its full support of Jay Jones for Attorney General. We are lined up 10 toes down, ready to organize, mobilize, and deliver voters for Jay and our entire Democratic ticket. Recent press may have spotlighted past mistakes. We say, let those without sin cast the first stone. Jay Jones has taken responsibility, apologized, and shown that he is committed to serving with integrity and accountability that his public record already shows. Virginians deserve a leader who learns, grows, and stands for everyday people, and Jay is that leader. Do Virginians deserve a leader who had to learn not to wish death upon his political opponents? Is that really the lessons that we're trying to learn? I'm pretty sure we learned the golden rule when we're about 4, 5 years old. And Jay Jones didn't get that till what age? Till the ripe year of 2022, if he's even learned his lesson. Because he's coming out and saying this because he's been caught, okay, because these text messages have been released. Who knows how he actually feels? And in this age of political turmoil, political divisiveness, and political violence, is this what we need for Attorney General? Mind you, Attorney General, that's your chief attorney, okay? He's going to be a legal advocate. He's responsible for enforcing laws, interpreting laws. He's responsible for litigation. Do we want this guy handling matters of legality in Virginia when he's made statements wanting the death of a political opponent or somebody that he disagrees with politically, wanting the death of that person's children in their mother's arms, essentially? I think not. And the fact that I even have to say that is absolutely insane. I think we've grown so accustomed to just allowing these just malicious, heinous statements, whether they are hyperbolic or not, out of the mouths of just politicians in general, but specifically left-leaning politicians. And while they say your silence is violence, they are actually uttering words like this of true heinous violence about their political opposition, about their political opposition's children. Okay. When we see these acts of violence carried out and we see left-leaning people celebrated online, dance, say no one mourns the wicked, we're all disgusted by it. So something needs to be done here. Okay. This person should not be running for Attorney General. And the people surrounding this individual, the likes of Abigail Spanberger, the left-leaning outlets and news media should be calling this man out and abandoning him. Full force, 10 toes down, not 10 toes down in support of him, saying that he's learned from his mistake of wishing death upon a political opponent. Guys, we're living in a really, really crazy, crazy clown world. And in crazy, crazy clown world, Jay Jones is Attorney General. So maybe we step out of the upside down, we get out of clown world, and we refuse to let an individual like this run in a race, certainly win a race. But if Democrats, if this is your guy, then this is your guy. And imagine what a guy like this, who claims to have believed something like this, says he doesn't any longer, but we'll see about that. Imagine what a guy like this does as Attorney General. That's a whole lot of power, a whole lot of legal power, a whole lot of power in reference to law enforcement, when he's literally advocating that the law be broken to kill his political opposition. Right. Drop your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know how you feel about this story of Jay Jones. I think I've expressed how I feel about it, and I'm scared. That's so fucking weird. Okay? Horrible. Drop your thoughts in the comments down below. As always, if you disagree with anything I said in this video, do get out, but do so respectfully. I encourage a respectful debate on this channel. And if you like this video, which I don't know, what is there to like? This is just a really weird time that we're living in right now. But like, subscribe, click the notification bell to be notified every single time I post a video for you guys, which is every day. And let's hope and pray we don't get any more Jay Jones around us. Bye, guys.